Nintendo has always been a company that sells things. Shocker. I know. Though, they didn't start out with anti-consumer practices like the Switch 2. Go watch that video if you haven't. They started out in video games specifically like any other company. Nintendo started their video game journey with EVR Race, the Game & Watch. So basically, Gunpei Yokoi saw a bored businessman on a train who had resorted to playing with his calculator. Then he had a realization. What if there was a thing that played game like that device and it could tell time? So the Game & Watch was created. Using the same tech as a calculator, instead of displaying numbers, it displayed pre-drawn graphics and it could tell the time. Then came the Famicom. Yeah, that's a thing. So basically, the Japanese NES was a top loader and had controllers attached to the system. But when Nintendo wanted to bring the Famicom over to the United States, Atari just so happened to make it so the video game market basically just crashed in that year of 1983, so they redesigned the NES to look like a VCR, and they marketed it as a toy, and they made the money because of that. Of course, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, dot matrix screen, video game successful, blah 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 blah. The SNES was just NES 2. Now, N64. This was the introduction of the analog stick, which was innovative along with the 64-bit hardware, but Nintendo just had to ruin it with their stupid addiction to cartridges, which is it's not good, you know, because basically CDs could hold 700 megabytes, which a lot of other companies were using already. And the N64 cartridges at the max could hold like 64 megabytes, which, if you know anything about storage, which you probably don't because you're watching my channel, that's not very much. Like, it's not very good to have that little storage, you know, and like yeah. So the sales declined. And with the GameCube, the sales declined even more. Because, you know, that. So with the Wii and the DS, basically, they tried to do things that were unique and could appeal to way more people, so they made loads of money. Like more than $2, I think. I had a Wii when I was a little goo goo gaga baby, as seen here. And I loved it. Like, I loved it a lot. It was very fun, but that was what got to Nintendo's head for the next generation. Bow, bow, bow. So with the next generation, the 3DS and the Wii U were sequels. They were sequels. So the 3DS sold fine because it's a handheld and Nintendo made good games for it early on. Though the Wii U was a failure. This was because of the horrible marketing, the bad name, the barely used gimmick, and people thinking it was just an add-on. So, like, it failed, like, pretty badly. Nintendo was basically just like, oh, guys, I don't think people want the Wii U anymore. Like, I don't think they want it anymore. So we gotta make a new console. We gotta step up our game and do another gimmick. And then like everyone in the room was just like going, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.